All right, everyone, we'll have a look at a bar chart now, and we'll see how can we tackle a bar chart if we get it in IELTS Writing Task 1. It is 1/3 of your IELTS writing task, and you have about 20 minutes to do that. We'll try to understand how to tackle a writing task 1. What are the steps that we need to take into consideration? How do we solve it in such a way that we could easily score in excess of 7? The first thing that you need to do is don't go to the graph straight away. The first thing is go to the question and read that. If you understand the question, then you would be in a better position to actually answer that. So first thing is let's pay attention to what the question is asking. Here we have this particular thing, if you see. Now, in every question, you have two parts, the statement and then what is required of you. So let's have a look at the statement first. This part here is the statement, and this one here is the question. So the statement is the chart below gives information on. This part, don't bother much. From here, the real thing starts. The percentage of British people giving money to charity. So we're looking at the percentage, British people giving money to charity, age range, the years 1990 and 2010. So that's our basic information. Percentage of British people who gave money to the charity from different age groups in two separate years, 1990 and 2010. So that's the basic information that we have about the graph. Now, we will not look at the graph in a different way. We already know what the graph is looking for or is actually representing. So what's the question? Summarize the information. That's the first thing. Summarize means you don't have to go into details. Write it as precise as possible. How do we summarize that? By selecting and reporting the main feature. So we don't have to give every feature. We have to provide the main features and make comparisons where relevant. So this where relevant is for everything here. If you believe that this is like this one is a bar chart, so of course we have to summarize that. Sometimes we get the questions like the life cycle of something or a process diagram. In that, we don't have to summarize. We have to talk about every step. But here, because it's a bar chart, we have to summarize. And how do we do that? We'll just select the main features and then we'll report them and we'll just ignore some of the parts. And we have to write at least 150 words. So 150 is the minimum, but if you can complete the whole thing in 150, good. You could still get a good score. But try not to cross 190 because then if it's 200, it's probably not very summarized. It's quite detailed. So we'll try to stick between 150 and 200. Anywhere between 150 to 180, 185, 190 is fine, but don't go above that. So after that, once you've understood all the requirements, what you need to do is to go to the question and pay attention to what the question is actually showing, what the graph is actually showing. So this is our graph, and if you pay attention, according to the legend, yellow color represents 1990 and green color represents 2000. On the left-hand side, we have the percentages of people who donated, like 0 to 45. We don't have exact values mostly, so we use approximation, like approximately, nearly, around, about, almost, nearly, and slightly above, slightly below. We could also use those. At the bottom, we have the age groups. The first age group, or the youngest age group, is 18 to 25. The second age group is 26 to 35. The third one, or the middle one, is 36 to 50. Then we have 51 to 65, and then 65 plus. So these are our age groups. Here are the percentages, 1990, 2010. Let's go one by one. So we'll have a look at 1990 now. So if you pay attention, in 1990, this is the first one. And the value here is approximately 17. Not exactly 17, but approximately 17. So let's say 17. And this is our first point, number one. After that, if you see that the value is going up and up and up, and here it's at the highest point. So that could be our number two. And this value is approximately 42. This value is also the highest in the whole graph. We don't have a value higher than that. So let's just put a star with that, which means it's the highest in the graph. Following that, just have a look. The value starts going down. And by the last age group, it had dropped to okay, it's about 32, approximately 32. So let's say if this is number two, this is another point that we will definitely talk about. Another point that we could stick in is the difference between the highest and the lowest. So this is 17 and 42, so difference is 25%. This could be our number three, and that's a comparison. This one here then could be our number four, and that's 32. So these are the main features that we need to talk about. The value has declined here. It's gone down. It has surged or increased or grown or gone up. Here, this increase is substantial or enormous. And this decline is not huge, but this is considerable. So you plan the vocabulary too. So let's say if we're using the word enormous here, then we would be using the word considerable here. I mean, I'm writing it in such a way that I would understand. So you guys have to do the same for yourself. One part done. Now let's move on to the second one, 2010. In 2001, 18 to 25 has the lowest value. What's the value here? About 7%. And let's say this is number five, and it is also this lowest value in the whole graph overall. There's no value lower than that. And if you pay attention to the trend, the value has started going up, and up, and that's the highest one here. So if that's five, that's six. What's the value there? Around 39. The difference between the two is 32, and that could be our number seven. After that, the value dropped and reached here, which is number eight, and that's 35. And the drop, is it huge? No, it's slight. This increase, however, is dramatic. It's big. So that's how you plan your thing. Now, what do we understand from the whole graph? What we understand is that this age group, the first age group, the youngest age group, they donated the least. If you add 17 plus 7 is 24% in both years. And this age group here, if you see like 42 plus 35 is about 77. So they have donated the most. This one is about 35 and 39, so that would be 74. So no. These people in the middle, the middle age group, they have donated the most, and these people overall have donated the least. So that's our overall. Where does the overall help us? In overview or overall after the introduction, after paraphrasing. So when you're writing the introduction, what you do is you paraphrase this information and then you add this overall. And these two things make up your introduction. Can we write it at the end? Some people do it, but mostly when I go to the trainings by British Council or by Cambridge or by IDP, their trainers always tell you to write the paraphrasing and overall together. And some of the sample writings that they show you, which are of 8 or 8.5 band score, they also have these two things together, paraphrasing and overall. But in the overall, we do not write numbers. We'll just say that the first age group donated the least, whereas the middle age group donated the most. That would be an overall. We'll not go for like 7% and 17 and 34, okay, 35 and 42. No, no numbers in overall. That's more like a summary. No opinions there. Your opinions are not needed. You just have to look at the diagram and write the diagram in words. That's what you need to do, but you need to select and report just the main features, not every feature. Now, let's try to write this one. Let's go on to writing and actually try to write this one. The chart below gives information on, so let's see what can we do instead. The provided infographic shows data on, so say the percentage of British people, the proportion of British citizens who donated money according to age categories, proportion of British citizens who donated money according to age categories in 19. So we have five age categories according to, okay, we'll leave that number. In 1990 and in 2010. You don't have to change everything because some of the information that's given in the task is very basic, so you don't need to change it completely. Don't try to over dramatize that or change it too much because then it won't look natural. If it doesn't look natural, it doesn't get you a good score. So you don't have to get those really rare and difficult words which nobody would have read anywhere, so that's not very natural. Instead of helping you, it actually goes against you. So don't cram information that you're going to put in every writing. In general, you could also say overall instead of in general if you wanted to. The first age group donated the least, whereas what's the first age group? 18 to 25 donated the least, whereas the middle age category, the middle age bracket, what is it, 36 to 50, is it? Let's have a look. 36 to 50. So 36 to 50 donated the most. We've not given any numbers, we've just written their names. 18 to 25, I mean, that's not the proportion. That's just the name of the group. Now we move on to the body paragraphs. In 1990, have a look at this now. In 1990, the youngest age group, 18 to 25, donated 17%. In 1990, the percentage of people from 18 to 25 who donated or who gave alms was approximately 17%. This value was the lowest recorded that year. The numbers then grew tremendously and peaked at nearly at about 42% in the age group 36 to 50. This was the highest percentage for any group overall. Following that, the numbers declined. Now, how did they decline? Sharply? I don't know. I don't think it's sharp. They did decline though from 42 to 35 and then to 32. So it's It's not huge, but it's not minor. So what would we say? The numbers declined considerably to 32% in the last age category. In 2010, the youngest Britons donated almost 7%, which was the least amount or least percentage in the whole chart. After that, donations surged dramatically and reached the apex. Have you written highest point before? Let's have a look. Peaked at, so it was the highest value. Did we say that highest percentage? And reached the optimum figures of 39% in the age group. Is it 51 to 65? Let's have a look. Yeah, 51 to 65. This was an increase of 32% compared with the initial value. Okay. Post that, the value, the figures dropped slightly, by 4% and finished at 35% in the most senior category or group. So overall, we have 165 words, which is fine. There could be a bit of a repetition here and there. This is something that you could just have a look at and change those words and replace them with synonyms, but they have to be very appropriate. But what we try to do is we've tried to remain clear, and we've tried not to use overly complex language or lexical resource so that it's easier for anybody to read it. So 165 words is really good. We don't need to write like 200 here. We had to write between 150 to 190, and we are right in the middle at 165. It's pretty good. Now, let's ask ChatGPT if this answer is good enough. So how are we going to check with ChatGPT? So we could just go to ChatGPT and ask if this is good. Now, when you are on ChatGPT, just ask them to check. Can you please check an IELTS writing task one for me and give it a band score out of 9. Okay, let me provide you with the image and then my answer. So here is the image. And here is our answer. So let's copy it and then we'll paste it here. So let's see, our task achievement is good. Okay. Arms, we could use arms. Well, it is correct. Arms is more commonly used in specific religious or historical context. Fine. Right. Good, good, good. Let's see what the overall score is. So estimated band score is 7, which is what we were looking for at the beginning. So how can we go on and score a 7.5? Let me show you another one, another writing that we wrote just before that, and see if that one, uh, like have a look. It's the same graph, but a little written a little differently, and it would get you a 7.5 to an 8. What is different here? The provided infographic shows data on the proportion of British citizens who donated money according to age groups in 1990 and 2010. The middle age group, 36 to 50, donated the most, whereas the youngest age category did the least charity. So it's slightly different, same information. The vocabulary is a little better. Then, in 1990, the first age group gave approximately 17% alms, which was the lowest value in that year. If you pay attention, it's a complex sentence, which is a good start. The numbers grew tremendously and reached a peak of about 42% in the age bracket 36 to 50. Same information, no difference. This was the highest percentage in the whole chart and 25% higher than the lowest percentage that year. After this peak, the donations declined considerably in the following two groups and finished at around 32% in the last age group. In 2010, the youngest Britons gave just 7% to charitable causes, and this was the smallest figure in both the years. Instead of both the years, you could say smallest figure overall. This number, however, surged dramatically till the penultimate age group, 51 to 65, and reached almost 39%. This percentage was 32% higher than that of the youngest age group, 18 to 25. The proportion of charity dropped slightly by 4% to finish at 35% for the most senior citizens. So you see, there's not a lot that is different in this writing compared with the one that we've just written. But this one, because it has a few words which are a little better, sentences which are a little bit more refined, though no difference in information, this one, let's see what score would it get us. The good thing about ChatGPT is that it gives you a lot of information and you could actually improve. Not everything is accurate, but this is very close. So this one would be an estimated band score of 8. So you've seen two writings now, which are very similar, with just a few changes and tweaks in vocabulary, and you could get an 8 band score easily. So for those of you who are worried about how to score really well in task 1, here are two examples for you to actually learn from. So if there are any more questions, or if there's something that you're still worried about, you could still ask.